Okay. Um, Let me see. For those of you who have been wondering, those of you out there in the video, in the blogosphere who have been wondering about what I've been up to lately, I'll tell you what I've been up to. Um, Let me see. Where do I begin? I had my toe surgery done. What this did was simply straighten out my toes. Let me. I'm kind of crudely demonstrating here. Uh, let's say pretend that this is my left. Oh, okay, I think we can do this. I think we can do this here. If we do this right here. Let's say this. Let's say my left hand is my left foot. Okay, everything is all. Instead of having my toes straight, like my right foot is, all the toes were curled down, kind of like this, and where the toes were simply bent down toward the ground, or toward the floor, as it were, which made it a real pain in the where to actually walk. So I'm kind of going in a jumbled order here, because until I until I kind of remember where I'm at here. It's been that long ago, so to give you an so anyway, what the doctor did was take out my was take the toes, which were curled under, and he just straightened them out just by snapping a tendon here, a tendon there, and it just all seemed to work, and it just like snapped itself back in place. Suffice to say, I had lots of stitches, about roughly 14 or 15 stitches. I forget, now, but suffice to say, but there were quite a few. I also had a little pin, like what you use to put things up on a bulletin board, like one of those. I had a pin inside one of my toes, the front end of it. Suffice to say, fast forward about 3 weeks, I got my toe, I got all my stitches out, and for a while it looked like he was going to have to turn that into a surgical procedure. Seriously, it looked like it was going to have to turn that into a surgical procedure. Fortunately, though, he didn't. He was able to do. But it wasn't easy. Getting the stitches out. I mean, to put it more accurately put, if there was a good way to put it, it was like, okay, it was like taking, for every stitch or every few stitches he took out, it was like taking, um, yeah, it was like taking a pot of coffee and splashing it on my foot. Yeah, just like sloshing it around, where water, where coffee would come up, you know, and just slosh it on my foot, where it landed on my foot. Yeah, because the burning sensation was like that. It was like a huge burning sensation. Okay, I just checked the microphone there. And suffice to say, let me check the levels here in the flash. Okay. Suffice to say, the levels. Suffice to say, fast forward. So anyway, about a week later, he then took out the pin, and I kept looking at that thing as if to say, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt like hell. He's gonna have to put me under to get that thing out of me. But he didn't. He didn't have to. In fact, yeah, the funny part of this is this. He was sitting there commenting on the fact that it might hurt a little bit. Yeah. Well, as he was wiggling the thing out, he was saying that, it might hurt a little bit. And of course, me, I'm like, duh. I'm like, yeah, that's a reason. That's reasonable to conclude. Like, duh. And I'm like sitting there bracing for the worst. I'm like sitting there bracing for pain. Getting ready to yell out at the nearly the top of my lungs. Anyway, when he said, because after all, I wasn't looking, because that's the worst thing that you can do when a doctor is like, whenever there is a chance that there might be pain inflicted on you, then the worst thing that you can do is look. But suffice to say, when he pulled the thing out, suffice to say, as he was saying that it might hurt a little bit, right in the middle of that sentence, he had the thing out. He's like, oh, okay. And he said, it's out. And I'm like, and he's pointing it up like this, I'm like, oh.